Hello everyone, and welcome to part 3 of this mini-series. Today we'll be showing you how to create a custom component using the Coherent GUIC CLI. Here I have open in front of me the documentation of the CLI, and you can see the commands that we are going to need. This is the create command, which we need to supply the name and directory where the component will be. The build command, which builds our component to be used in our project. And the start and build demo commands, which would build a demo file that we can use to preview our component. So let's start by creating a component, and for that we need to do coherent GUIC CLI create, and let's call the component coherent alert. There will just be a simple component that will show an alert on screen, and let's put it in the components folder. So now we can see to the left that the CLI create a components folder, and inside we can see the coherent alert folder. And the CLI creates all the necessary files for our component. You can see them over here, the Coherent Gameface component team, which are the shared styles between the components, the index.js that's loaded as in the npm modules, script.js where the logic behind the component is, the style.css where our styles go, and the template.html, which will be the template for our component. So now we can go to the components folder, the coherent alert. So the first thing we need to start off is by installing the dependencies. And after that is done, let's build a demo for this component so we can preview it in the player. Like this, and if we go to the demo folder, we can now see the bundle.js file created. And if we open a player, and let's get our component demo file, we should be able to see hello coherent alert, which in the template.html you can see that we have hello and the component slot. So component slots are a way to extend the functionality of components by adding custom data to the component when making it. So in the demo we can see we have the component, coherent alert, and inside the component slot we have coherent alert. If we change this to, let's say, coherent gameface and save, and then build, if we load it now, we can see hello coherent gameface. Okay, great. So now we start by creating our component. So in our coherent alert, let's create a coherent alert text, and we'll put the component slot inside. We can delete this there. So let's add some styling. Well, first let's add a wrapper so we can blur everything behind. So let's do coherent alert wrapper, and we'll put the alert inside. So in the styling, let's get rid of this and do alert wrapper. Let's give it a position of absolute, and let's do the top to 0, the left to 0, the bottom to 0, and the right to 0, so it will stretch our. And let's do a background color. Let's put an opaque black so it can be, and yeah, let's put 0.3, and let's add a drag drop filter and blur it a little bit. Okay, and for the coherent alert, let's set its width to 300 pixels, height to 300 pixels, and let's set the background color to be white. And now for the text, let's set its width to 90% and its height to 90%. And we need to center it, so we can do display flex, align to center, and justify content center. And for the text, let's put the color to be black, and let's set a text, align center. Okay. So now, if we go to the demo.html, let's set in the head tag the link to the CSS. Should be 2 folders back. Okay, and we can leave it like that. So let's rebuild to get all the new component template, and we can see this alert. Let's again center the text though, so we can do display flex, align items center, and justify content center. Okay, and inside our demo, let's add some other style so we can see it better. So we can do the body, and let's say width should be 1000 VW and the height should be 100 VH. And let's set the margin to 0. Okay. Oh, another thing. Again, we need to center this. So okay, now we change style, so we don't need to rebuild. Okay, so we'll just need to add the height. Okay. And if we reload, yep, it will work now. Okay, so we have this. Let's add some functionality to it. So inside our script.js, let's add an open function. So let's set this dot style display, and it should be, let's say, should be block. Okay, and once it's opened, let's actually close it. So we need to add a close property, and we'll set the style to none. And let's set a timeout. So in this timeout, we'll just close it after 3 seconds. So our component is created in our connect callback, sorry, and let's set this style to be none. So we rebuild, and we see it gone since the style is none. But inside our demo, we can do document query selector, and let's get the coherent alert, and we can now do open. So If we reload, it should be open and then gone in 3 seconds. Let's set the time to be less than 3 seconds though, maybe 1. Okay, rebuild. And perfect. Okay, and the last thing I want to show you is how we can add attributes to our component. So, for example, let's set an attribute that is should be in the init. So let's get this timeout and let's set it to this attribute to timeout. So it will be either the timeout attribute or 1 second, and you can replace this with this timeout. Okay, so now we rebuild. We go back to the demo where we can add timeout, and let's set it to 5000 seconds. And if we refresh, it should take 5 seconds for it to disappear. I think it's working, so let's set it to something quicker, like half a second. Can do, and we can see it works. Okay, perfect. So now that we have our component created, let's first build it using the coherent-guic-cli build command, and then in our project, which will be my project, we will add to the package JSON. Let's add coherent alert, and instead of using versions, this is not an npm package, we can do file and do components coherent alert. Okay, save, and let's go back to the project. Now if we do npm install, it should have installed our component. You can see it node modules that we have on the coherent alert, and this check that it's a local file. Perfect. So now in our index.js we can do import coherent alert, and we can import the coherent alert stylings. So node modules coherent alert style.css, and inside our index.html to the bottom here, let's add coherent alert, and we need a component slot with a data name. Let's go. This is our alert component. And let's also add some functionality. We need to have it open. So let's document add event listener. Let's add a click event. So when each time we click on the screen to show our, so we can do alert open. Perfect. So now let's start. Let's start our dev server for the project. Okay, it was dev. Now if we open our player again, we'll see our project, and if we click, we can see our alert component being shown and blurring everything behind. So this is everything for this mini series where I showed you how our component system works. If you have find this video useful, please leave us a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions or suggestions to improve our channel, please leave us a comment in this or any of the other videos that you have. Thank you and have a great day.